If I was hired as a head of program management for an enterprise organization, here's what I'd do in my first 180 days. My overall objective would be A, understand how things are done today, and B, see where opportunities for introducing automation might be. Identify the most inefficient steps in the workflow, or indeed steps that would lead to poor quality outcomes. Okay, so how would I do that exactly? On week one, I'd talk to my direct reports. These might include program managers, lead project managers, business change managers, quality people, and of course the PMO, if there is one, program management office. Basically anybody involved in strategic programs. I'd ask three specific questions. One, for the programs you're involved in, what happens when you receive updates to important docs, things like the project charter or business requirements, tech specs, license agreements, etc. Two, how long does it take you to complete the review steps for new program requirements or when requirements change? And when multiple teams are involved, how does that work too? How do you work with external partners, internal partners, etc.? And finally, three, have we had any cases in the last year, 18 months, let's say, where things have kind of gone a little wrong? What was the fallout? What kind of stuff happened? Was there scope creep? Was there delivery delays, etc.? What kind of impact to profitability? Then I go ahead and jot down the specific workflow steps. I just use Excel, nothing crazy. Every step we just itemize who's doing it, how long does it take, is it working well? I'd also be on the lookout for war stories. Things like project overrun and scope creep are always key. And I'd appoint a change management lead, lightweight role to help me coordinate. So all we're really doing so far is basic business process mapping. It's not crazy. It's not kind of, nothing too onerous. The beauty of this really important stage, though, is that once we've done it, we're getting a great picture of what's actually going on today, along with the insights for, where potentially we may be able to apply automation. So by the end of month one, we'd have a really clear documented set of as-is business processes, along with timings and any observations. Great. Month one finished. What next? Now we're ready to launch our lightweight change management project. Here we decide which steps we're going to prioritize and automate. I found that low-hanging fruit is where we want to focus first. No great shakes there, so that we can get early wins. That's really important. We've got to make a substantial change and make an impact quickly. Regardless of which organization, there are always two big areas you can automate, and they don't require that much behavior change. The first area concerns how we review requirements, either for new programs or extensions to current programs. The second is how we react when requirements change. What's the fallout? Who do they impact? Who do they touch? Both steps are highly inefficient typically and error-prone in most large orgs. People are not leveraging any kind of automation to speed these review cycles. It's all manual. It's all search. It's all opening up docs, using Control F to find key risk indicators like indemnification clauses, technical clauses like cybersecurity. It takes a ton of time. You see typically mails flying around with doc attachments, friction, long review cycles, and it's often error-prone, which does eventually lead to scope creep or scope change, delays, eroded profit margins, and operational risk. So I'd look to put in place a doc analysis solution like VisibleThread. I'd aim to have the automation solution in place by the 3-month mark. Solutions like this are great. They're really fast to implement. They don't require too much behavior change for users, which is really key. And they deliver efficiency wins fast, typically within weeks. Those internal teams might be legal, compliance, technology, operational, and the external teams might be suppliers or partners. Then I go ahead and record the exact efficiency improvements we see for these review steps. And by day 60, I'd expect to have very specific efficiency metrics for our organization, even if for a few key steps. By the end of the 180 days, we will have reduced review time substantially and improved the quality of reviews generally. And that's a win for the organization.